right, we are up and at it this morning at Independence High School. I'm talking with Mark Cuthbert, the head girls basketball coach, and just kind of looking at your personnel and the girls that are out this year. I kind of got to feel like you're pretty excited about this year.
Yeah, we have a real good group. We have a lot of returners, and we've got a couple newcomers that are going to really help us out and have a lot of experience playing. So I think in the long run, it's going to be beneficial.
Naturally, when we look at your crew, we go with Harmony and Lacey, Harmony Mills, Lacey Goodson, two prolific scorers, two really solid basketball players. Just kind of talk on them briefly. I mean, I know there's not a whole lot left to say about them because they've been so tough throughout their careers.
Harmony's the all-time leading scorer here now, and she hit her 1,000-point mark last year. She's been a 4-year starter. She's been a 4-year captain. And she comes every day. She works hard. She leads by example. Lacey's on the footsteps of the 1,000-point club, and I think she'll reach it this year. And ultimately, I think she'll end up breaking Harmony's record in the next couple of years. But both of them are real solid players. They play together, and that's what you need.
Got those two, and like you were saying, you got some nice additions now. Just kind of touch on who you feel like is going to be those next three to start for you, and then we'll kind of hit the reserves that's going to help you out.
You got Kenna Price, who transferred in from Wyoming East to be one of our post players. And she adds a piece that we've been missing the last couple of years. She's real solid offensively and defensively, and playing at Wyoming East, she has an idea how to play, and she has state tournament experience. So along the way, that's going to help us. And you got Peyton Rabin from Shady, who is an all-state softball player and an all-state basketball player. Coach's daughter who knows the game, and she can be that coach on the floor for us. And right now, for that fifth spot, there's 2 or 3 different girls we're looking at. Zoe Bragg's been with me for 4 years. She's a real scrappy guard. Then you have Jessica Vandal, who started some games for us last year, who's more of a post player, and she came in her own last year. Then we had Addie Whitaker, who started a bunch of games for us last year. So, that last spot is still up in the air for right now. We don't make that ultimate decision until that first game time.
Right.
Depending on matchups, the lineup can change anytime.
I was going to say, it sounds like you've got enough girls that you can kind of mix it a little bit this year.
I think it adds more depth for us. I'm naturally a defensive-minded guy, so and if you play up-tempo defense, you got to have them subs, and That's what we've been missing in the past.
What about your younger ones? I mean, I know Chloe Cunningham comes right to mind because she's so talented at all of her other sports too, and I know she's a really good basketball player. Any of those girls you feel like can help you on the varsity level this year?
You have 2 freshmen that I think are going to play a lot of minutes for us on varsity, and Chloe and Bailey Alderman, who's going to be a backup guard for us. They're both real talented, but they're learning fast that the high school game is different than the middle school game.
Right.
Then you have another sophomore that played with us from last year, Kinley Davis, who is continuing to grow, and she has worked on her game. We're just hoping to get her to that next step. And you have Eileen Chin and Taylor Fraley, who could help us in the long run.
One thing about it, you were AAA last year, which was a tough deal with Greenbrier East and teams like that, but back in AA, but it didn't get any easier, that's for sure. I mean, you got James Monroe, Wyoming East, teams like that, West Side. What do you kind of foresee in the regional battle?
You got 2 perennial state tournament teams right there with Wyoming East and James Monroe, and you have the notoriously good teams and West Side, Summers County, Midland Trail. They're all well coached, so it doesn't get any easier, and hopefully our schedule is going to help us because the way the classifications came out, when I scheduled, we were still AAA, so Our schedule is predominantly still a AAA schedule. So we're going to be battle tested. The record at the end of the year might not be great, but hopefully come February we're playing our best basketball.
All right, Mark Cuthbert, Independence Girls Basketball.